achieved the level of success of our next guest. In 1970, he became a member of the band Genesis. After 23 years and 17 albums, Genesis continues to be one of the most popular bands in the world. Besides his work with the band, he's also released a string of solo hit albums, including his latest called Both Sides. And here's the great Phil Collins.
Very dramatic.
Yes.
You have a lot of fans out there.
Apparently
Yes,
so.
Phil.
Apparently so.
Oh, Phil, it's good to see you again. Thank you very much for coming and being with us. Yes. Hard to believe 23 years, Genesis, huh?
Yes, it is, yeah, 23 years.
You must have been a young boy.
I must have been, mustn't I? Very young boy, very young boy.
So busy, though.
But you guys tour as Genesis, and then you kind of go your separate ways and do solo work together by yourselves?
Yeah, we always, well, the last sort of, I don't know, 10, 12 years, 13 years, we've actually had this other way of working where we work on our own and then we just go back together again when we've done everything else we want to do.
That's a nice, I mean, it's
Keeps
almost
us
like
together.
having open marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do both. It's nice. No commitment.
I don't
That's
like
enough for me
that.
today, isn't it? That's enough from me, I
How
think.
you doing, Phil? You're happily married?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
As happy as I am?
I think we both were before we came on the show, yeah.
Do you snore at night?
Yes, I do. I snore all the time, actually.
Heavy snoring? Does Steve have any complaints about your
Now,
snoring?
you don't tell him how your wife loves it, please.
No, but
No, apparently I get nudged in the ribs, but, you know, it's just one of those things. It's...
you're dreaming of your next song. You're vocalizing in your sleep.
You're writing, you're composing.
That's right.
Oh.
I often wake up with different things in my mouth.
But now here's the latest album, Both Sides, and you did it all on this, right? You wrote it, you produced it, you sang it, and what else did you do?
I did it at home.
You did it at home?
Yeah, I think that was the most important thing. I mean, I've always written and produced myself, but this time, because the songs were they were personal and I kind of felt very close to them, and I've always used the demos at home as well. I've always used the basic tracks and done them in my little room at home upstairs in the little 12-track studio. This time I did all the singing there, and I did all the bass parts and the guitar parts myself, and I just thought, hey, this is a good fun. I'll just keep doing it myself.
So if it doesn't work, you got nobody to blame but yourself, Phil.
I'm finding that I have no one to blame right now, actually.
But I think that's incredible, to play all the instruments.
I can't
Well, all the
imagine
guitar and the bass, you see, nowadays, fortunately, because of sampling, which is, you know, when you can get a real sound and you can put it on a keyboard. I played everything from a keyboard. I don't play guitar. I wish I did. But I played the guitar parts like this on a keyboard and just tried to think about how a guitar player would play them.
And how you wanted to hear them.
Yeah. And so, in the end, obviously, it's got to sound like a guitarist.
That's terrific.
Now, you had just turned 40 when you started working on this. I read somewhere where maybe some of the lyrics were because you were in a rather reflective mood.
I think so, yeah.
about
There's
time.
looking back, you know, looking back, and it's almost like you're in the halfway period in your life, you know. You look back and you look forward and you look back at the goals you missed, the goals you got, and what you've got to go into the second half looking for, you know, that kind
But
of
Phil, when you look back, you must look at a very exciting, fulfilled life.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
I mustn't grumble, Reg.
Oh, not at all. Reg, I like that.
It's in English.
That's the
call me
English
Reg.
version.
I've got an uncle called Reg. Reg and Len, actually, my two uncles were the guys that started me off playing the drums, you see.
Oh,
So
really?
Reg is...
So you come from a musical background then, huh?
Well, my family... No, actually, they just made me a drum kit because I'd actually started playing when I was 3 or 4, and they made me a kit when I was 5. But my rest of the family weren't musical at all.
So you were one of those snotty 5-year-olds up there in the attic, beating the hell out of those drums.
We lived next
driving
door to
everybody
one of those
crazy.
kids, remember?
Oh, that's right. We lived next door to one of those kid drummers. He had us crazy.
Do you not play drums?
No.
Never.
I thought when I had the
No,
drums...
piano's my game.
Okay.
Well, he thinks. We don't want to tell him.
I'm working on, listen to this, I am working on a medley of Bach and Beethoven.
You are?
Yeah.
You've never heard Bach like this before.
Doesn't that
it's
stun
nice.
you, astound you in any way?
Completely flabbergasted.
We're going to pause. We'll come right back with Phil Collins in a moment.
Is that after? I thought Second Life was after.
Before Give Me Kind of Love.
Phil Collins about to take off on a world tour, and you're going to start right here, aren't you, in New York City?
No, I'm starting... I'm starting in Europe.
Oh.
April the 1st.
April the 1st in Europe.
That doesn't sound a very wise day to start a tour, does it?
April Fool's Day.
That's where I'm going. I'm going to Europe on April the 1st, and then I come back. I came through America in late May, June, July, August.
And your son is going to be part of the group?
Yeah, if he turns up. Yeah, he's 17. He's 17 now. And he's playing the drums very well.
We just talked to Naomi Judd about, the trials of working with your teenage daughter.
Right. Well, he played with us in Philadelphia on my last tour. And he played Baltimore as well, I think, and then and Vancouver, which is where he lives. So he'll be playing a few songs with us.
Well, that's going to be a lot of fun, isn't it? Yeah.
Now, you just bought Cole Porter's house, I understand.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he lived there for a few years. We're renovating it, yeah.
Is this in California?
Yep.
This is in Beverly Hills?
Could you feel those vibrations? You remember when we used to go into those houses that were formerly owned by stars? Maybe it's our imagination.
No, all I get now is the drills, actually, because that's the only vibrations I get.
But in the beginning, didn't you get some feeling of a sense of him there working?
Well, we're trying to find photographs of him in the house. We've got one or two, but at the moment, it's a building site, I mean, we're still restoring it. Yeah, it's into our second year now.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck.
That's a lot of fun.
We'll do the money, yeah.
No wonder he's going on the road to get away from all that construction. Right. Hey, it's a wonderful album, Phil, and we wish you the very best, and we'll see you back here in New York when you come through on your world tour, okay? Thanks very much for being with us. Great to have you. We'll be right back in a moment.